Good morning, masterminds. Welcome to another work vlog. It's my first work day of 2022. I wasn't supposed to work today, but when I gave my boss my January schedule, he mistakenly added appointment slots for this day. I only have 2 students, so I didn't mind them. So I'll work. It's more money. Not better than rest. I'm tired because I'm really dry. Do I look more presentable? Let's get through my notable experiences since my last work vlog. Okay. The very first one is a correction. On October 17th, it was my second time finishing 7 consecutive work days, and my first time finishing 7 consecutive full, meaning 3 lesson, work days. Or by full, I should change the definition to at least 5 hours worth of work in appointment time. On September 5th, I only finished 7 consecutive work days. November 13th was a really foggy morning. November 14th, I encountered a Karen. She tried to pass us on the left in the opposite lane of traffic when we signaled to turn left onto my student's narrow driveway. She honked. I looked at her and flipped her off. During my last lesson, my student and I laughed at a cat that was sitting by the curb just watching us drive. November 15th, my first student was a 45-year-old Filipina named Pinky. She moved to the US in 2020. She failed the DMV drive test once before that lesson. She had difficulty unlearning Philippine driving habits, but we made progress in time for her next test. November 16th. On the way to my first student, I saw 2 roosters circling each other on a sidewalk in front of a house. My supposed to be first student, a big 29-year-old guy, couldn't find his permit. After about 30 minutes of waiting, I hear him raging in the house at his family as he comes out of the house. He told me he'll have to cancel because he lost his permit, and he was concerned about having already paid for the 5th and 6th lessons. I assured him he could reschedule free of charge or even get a refund by canceling those lessons. As I left, I heard him yell, "My day wasn't supposed to start like this." I was close to home, so I chilled there for an hour and 15 minutes, give or take. November 19th. After I greeted the office workers with hello, my female boss told the other lady that she would have greeted me back with Happy Friday, but I probably wouldn't care, since I work on weekends. That day I had a 29-year-old female student that's anxious behind the wheel. November 21st, my second student's mom tipped me $20 in cash. And then, for the second time, I had a relative of my student shadow the lesson. Overprotective Mexican parents. I didn't allow anyone else in the car but the student. I told the parents they could follow us from another vehicle, and so the father did. November 22nd. I had a student with a poor attitude, among the worst test takers. First test, 22 mistakes. Second test, 24 mistakes. 2 instant fails each time. My last student has a very Swedish name, Heaton Kirchner. We drove on a street with a cat and a bunny running around. November 23rd, my first student got lost in thought and almost drifted into the curb. My last student was a bad Indian driver. 11/27. I witnessed the worst practiced test score. 4 reasons for instant failing, 29 points lost. Regular points, yeah. November 28th. The guy got out of his truck and pretended to be shocked from imminent collision. He was like, trying to scare my student. My student wasn't fazed. November 29th. My second student, an 18-year-old female that decided to do her first lesson 11 days before her test. She'd been driving before that illegally, creating bad habits and having gaps in driving knowledge. She made me work hard. My last student that day, a 27-year-old Indian immigrant guy looking to brush up for the drive test after already failing 1 attempt. He had a lot to work on. November 30th. My second student and I were caught in traffic by a school releasing the kids. We encountered a guy in a pickup truck double parked next to recycling bins and blocking us. So that was the first time in this job I got out of the car to approach another driver to move. My last student that day was on her 3rd lesson and 2nd time with me. She made a lot of improvement but still failed my 2 practice tests. I laughed during the lesson because she has a bad habit of pulling over in front of driveways. December 1st. My second student ranks as one of the worst ever. A 21-year-old guy, awful driver, difficulty understanding and executing basic principles. 4 critical errors with 25 regular errors. He asked if I mind if he vents to me. I said I do mind. He still told me his parents are divorcing, he's been cheated on, and a friend of his recently committed suicide. The house he lives in has a 20-foot door that has a section that opens at like 8 feet of that door. Yeah. December 2nd. My first and third students both failed my practice test with several critical errors and regular errors, numbering in the mid to high 20s. It was a Gilroy day. It was my first time being super late to an appointment, 25 minutes late, due to southbound rush hour traffic. I still finished the 2-hour lesson. I logged 2 hours, 30 minutes in travel time. December 3rd, my female boss asked me if I prefer C's candy or a Starbucks gift card. My last student and I got cut off 3 times. The first instance was by a douchebag in a lawnmower sounding infinity, coming from the small bike lane on our right. Gosh. December 7th, I spotted a baby spider crawling on the windshield before my second lesson. I killed it after the lesson. December 8th, I had a Mexican girl with the last name Corona. During my second lesson, I saw an old woman splattered unconscious on a driveway. It was a tilted driveway, very steep. She fell over. People rushed to help her. After that lesson, a guy thought I was asleep in the driver's seat with the car on. I was filling out my time card. He approached and asked if I'm okay. I'm all like, December 9th, when I got to the office, my female boss asked me why I'm working so much. I told her it's the season of giving, and I'm trying to afford gifts. She called me a miracle for going without a break. December 10th, because my 12 p.m. appointment was cancelled, I took time to get a flu shot. When I got back to the driving school parking lot, a fat, dumb, middle-aged Mexican guy driving a beat-up pickup truck tailgated me and honked at me. When I signaled and right-turned into a parking space. I flipped him off. He rolled down his window as I got out of the car. He asked, "What's your problem?" I told him I signaled and to learn how to drive. I heard the words, "fucking Asian," as he drove off. Because of waiting for a long time, I started falling asleep in Jill. I was notified of a new appointment and started it at 1:50 p.m. My second student that day had difficulty paying attention and scanning. I had to use my brakes so we wouldn't destroy the car going over a speed bump. We heard tires screeching behind us. December 12th was one of the rare days my female boss worked the office on a weekend, right? I told her my 3:30 p.m. student canceled. She asked me if I'm crazy for wanting my 3:30 p.m. slot filled. I answered, just a little. She told me she hopes I take 2 weeks off or something. December 13th. When I arrived at the office, my female boss jokingly called me Crazy Noel. I experienced 2 cancellations due to rain and sickness. I told the office workers I'll wait for one replacement, and if a student wasn't added to my schedule by 3:30, I'd end for the day. The slot wasn't filled. So, I finished 16 consecutive days of work, doing 41 appointments, 40 regular lessons, 1 DMV escort. Not all days were full days, meaning at least 5 hours in appointment time. Only 2 days were 4 appointment hours or less. So I had 2 students on December 10th, 1 student on December 13th. When I returned to the office, my female boss told me the universe is telling me to take a break. All the staff there had the reaction that I went overboard and to enjoy my 1 day off. My male boss then called me over to chat about my favorite trainee that recently left, not on the best of terms. The topic was about travel time between lessons. My boss agreed with me that it's a given to take time to use the bathroom between lessons and have long enough breaks. I think my former coworker recently communicated to him his grievance about this particular aspect of the job. December 14th, I received my biggest paycheck yet. Credit from November 29th to December 12th. 40 students through 39 regular lessons and 1 DMV escort. From my understanding, work credit is counted from the Monday before payday to the Sunday before payday. December 15th, when I greeted the office workers, my female boss called me a workaholic. That day I had a 36-year-old Indian woman who hadn't driven in 8 years and has driving anxiety from an accident. Because I didn't remember locking my car, I asked my female boss to check Jill. She informed me it was locked, and she congratulated me and complimented my car. December 16th, I honked at a crazy Prius driver because he zipped through a bottom of the T intersection in a residential area at about 20 miles per hour. when my student and I had right of way and were close to crossing. We just zipped by. I was like, what the fuck? December 22nd was my second time having a student that doesn't speak. God, it's so fucking annoying. The only noises she made were a laugh when I pointed out a driver lane changing poorly and answering yes, just that one word, to my question of, does everything I've said make sense? I mean, I asked that multiple times, but she's a bad driver. December 28th was my final workday of 2021. When I arrived at the office, I greeted the office workers. They asked to clarify whether or not I'm born in December. I told them my birthday, and I'm sort of named after my dad. That's it. Chill. I'll see you after work.
One extremely annoying shift later.
Today may have been a short work day, but it was annoying. My first student made little to no progress since our last lesson together. Her second lesson on December 20th. I practice test her that lesson. She failed it. She failed both tests today for the same reasons. She knew I was annoyed, especially when I was trying to help her fix her steering, teaching her the hand over hand technique. But she got butthurt like a Karen. She doesn't want to improve. Just go. She'll take her bad habits to the grave. And then I was 12 minutes late to my second student. I was not supposed to have her, because in the days leading up to today, I saw a different name on my schedule. That person lives close by to my first student. But I had to drive across town to get to this student, an 18-year-old Indian girl. Just a crap driver. I had to treat it like a first lesson. Because I brought her out onto the main streets. She did okay getting to the area we ended up going to. I had to change the plan, the route, the practice area. Yeah, we did not get past right turns using the hand over hand technique. She has difficulty paying attention, multitasking. We almost hit a parked car and I had to shove the wheel over. I was like, holy shit, fuck. Right after that, I had her pull over and we just sat in the car parked for like 30 minutes discussing the concepts, her asking questions. But yeah, not a good driver. When I dropped her off, I noticed on the family car, MIT. What was the word? License plate. Cover, or I don't know the word. Can't think. I'm mentally exhausted. But yeah, not as smart as her father. Her account still shows 5 more lessons. I hope I don't get her. Look at the message I just received. Wow. Be careful, y'all. having rice, salmon, and peas in mustard cream sauce. It gets harder and harder to have time, be motivated for cooking, working out. I wish I could just come home to a hot, fresh meal cooked by my loved one. You know, even if the peas and salmon are frozen, it tastes good because I put effort into it. I'm gonna enjoy my dinner with Dragon's Den UK. I like Shark Tank too, but Dragon's Den is more enjoyable for me.
Did you ever get bad text?
Ads.
How can I take care of this as fast as possible? With lit?
Sometimes an entrepreneur has a lucky break.
My favorite gelato as of late. Truth and Dairy, pure pistachio. Delicious.
Okay. Well, you did enough. I wish I was home.
I'm tired, but I need to get in a workout. At least 100 push-ups. From October 11th to December 30th of last year, I did at least 100 push-ups per day. Forgot to do them on New Year's Eve. So sad. I broke the streak. I intend to do at least 100 push-ups every single day of 2022. Excuse me. So, I'm gonna get to them. Masterminds, I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I'll see you by January 31st. Alright? Alright. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, be smart for your heart.